guys, welcome back to another build video here today, and today we're coming at you with a brand new Harlowe build. Now, I am calling this build Nuke Harlowe. Now, we are mostly loading them up with stickies and blowing up bosses, because stickies have been nerfed, but they still work really well, and if you build around them correctly, they still will absolutely nuke bosses, and I will show you what we're using here. So we're using the shooting skew for the sticky part. Don't have to use stickies if you don't want to. You can use the constable. Anything that's really good damage for this build, anything high damage gun, any gun will pretty much work. You don't have to use stickies, but I am focusing on stickies and making stickies work pretty well with this build. So we're using the shooting skew, Jiggles and Ripper, Torg, and I recommend a 3.6 fire rate version. This is the best version I currently got, which is 10k damage, which is really good damage. Either look for 3.6 fire rate or look for 10k damage. I would be looking for, and then for mobbing, we're using the Hellwalker. Now this is a good gun for mobbing. You cannot go wrong with using the Hellwalker. This thing will absolutely wreck everything in its path. Same with the Juliet Sparkle. And then you can use shotgun ammo on this. You don't really need to use shotgun ammo, but for mobbing, this comes with the starfall chance, 33% chance. Stars are going to fall onto 5,000 damage per shot. And then we're using the Constable. Constable is really good. And this one is a cryo override version. You can also use the crow swords if you'd like to use the crow swords. There's a bunch of guns you could use on this if you'd like. There's just a whole bunch of selective guns you can use. The Dark Beast for the crystals work well. You can also use the Linebacker against Bloom's crystals. Those work really well too. The reason the Shiny War Paint, so you get 50% more fire rate and or 30% more fire rate. Crit Knives will guarantee crits. The Messy Pounder, so you get 12% more gun damage from Torg license parts and 100% more damage radius. This one has shotgun critical damage, gun splash radius, and shotgun splash radius. They're using the triple amp watch for dinner. You get bonus shot and 100% amp on a lot of shots. And they're using the phlebotomist. You're gonna want to look for 3 in sustained reaction, 4 in cyclone, so you get more fire rate, and you're gonna want action skill duration because this is really important. And then we're using 3 dead eyes. Gun accuracy and gun critical chance is increased by 25%. Every critical hit grants 15% more critical stack. The maximum stacks of 5 stacks, which is grants you a pretty high amount of damage. Then we're using 2 high calibers, so you get more projectile speed and 10% more gun damage, which is good. Now on for the skill tree, we're using 5 in momentum, 25% more critical hit damage, 5 in neutron decay, so you can get gun damage per stack, 10% gun damage per stack up to 5, and then 3 in creative overflow, so you get 36% gun damage per overshield. 2 in confirmative reality. Whenever Harlowe shoots an entanglement enemy, she and all her allies restore a portion of her act skill cooldown. And then we're using 5 in excited estate. Harlowe gains increased critical hit damage. You get 35% critical hit damage. This allows you to infinite crit. And then we're using distribution function. You get shield restore of damage dealt, which is really good. 2 in refraction, because refraction can do some pretty crazy things. And then we're using 4 in gamma ray burst. So we get bonus radiation damage of the maximum shield capacity. 1 in Harlowe Certainly Principles, so we get down critical funding. We put 5 in critical funding, so we get down to meltdown, so we can proc down neutron decay when we're hitting our crits, which is really good. And then we're running 5 in Citron, so you get up to 30 fire rate. 1 in E, so you get more maximum shield capacity and more recharge rate, so your shield recharges a bit faster. 1 in Elementary, so you get elemental damage, status effect damage. Elemental status effect damage 20%, and status effect damage 20%. And then we're using 3 in Enrich. Harlowe gets more radiation damage, which is good. 1 in Elephant Foot. Whenever Harlowe's shield breaks, she deals the radiation damage to all entangled enemies. The equal amount of overshield of damage dealt. And then we're using Mechanical Resilience. Whenever Harlowe damages enemy with a skill, it gains increased skill damage, and you get 10% skill damage per stack. Then whenever Harlowe enemy, her actual damage is Harlowe gains increased gun damage whenever her action skill ends. So when your action skill ends, you get a bunch of gun damage, which is really good. And then we're using the best defense. You get 30% damage when shields are full. We're using Riddle You This. You get gun damage up to per stack. I am gun, so you get action skill damage of 50% gun increases. And then we're using Honed in Mind. The action skill critical hit chances increased by 20%. And the most important part is actually our critical hit damage is increased by 50%, which is really good here. Basically, what you're gonna do is you're gonna basically load the bosses up with stickies really well. And as you can see, we're doing radiation damage. And then with the skill damage, we're gaining skill damage per shot. So every shot we're gaining skill damage from that skill. And then we're always stacking that gun skill. So right now we have a bunch of skill damage going. And as you can see, the Hellwalker is hitting very, very hard. The Hellwalker is hitting for what? Can't even see the numbers in there. 954,000, I think. No, wait. Was that 2.4 million? I can't even see it. Whatever this big number is, we just did. Which I think is 78 million. I'm terrible at reading these numbers. Basically, every time your shield's always popping, so you're always doing that radiation damage of overshield dealt. So we're always proccing this with our shield. So we always get bonus radiation damage, which is really good. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.